The New York Knicks are entering one of their most pivotal seasons in recent memory, and the spotlight, as always, begins with Jalen Brunson. For the past 2 years, Brunson has been the driving force behind New York's resurgence, lifting the franchise back into contention with his fearless scoring, elite leadership, and relentless competitiveness. But as the 2025-26 season approaches, there's a clear shift taking place in Manhattan. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Under new head coach Mike Brown, the Knicks are moving toward a different identity, one that no longer leans so heavily on Brunson's one-man brilliance. Brown's arrival marks the beginning of a faster, more fluid offensive system built on pace, spacing, and constant movement. The idea is to make the Knicks more unpredictable and less reliant on isolation plays, something that became a staple under former coach Tom Thibodeau. It's a bold change, one designed to elevate the Knicks from a tough playoff team to a legitimate title contender. But it also comes with its share of uncertainty, because any shift that takes the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands is bound to raise questions. Bleacher Report's Zach Buckley captured that sentiment perfectly. In his analysis, he noted that Brown's offensive philosophy could help unlock a more dynamic, team-oriented Knicks squad, but it could also test the limits of what has made the franchise successful in recent years. Mike Brown has championed a change in offensive philosophy that would make his team faster, less ball-dominant, and ultimately less reliant on star guard Jalen Brunson, Buckley wrote. All of that sounds new, exciting, and maybe even better for New York's playoff hopes. But if the system isn't operating how it should when the games start to matter, maybe the Knicks' old offensive habits prove too hard to break. And that's the crux of it. For 2 seasons, the Knicks lived and died by Brunson's ability to create, control, and close. He averaged 26 points per game last year, a slight dip from his previous season, but still elite production, while routinely carrying the offense during critical stretches. He made clutch plays, drew double teams, and kept Madison Square Garden buzzing with belief. Now, however, the new system will ask him to do something different. Trust. Trust his teammates to handle the ball. Trust the offense to generate looks organically. Trust that he doesn't need to dominate every possession for the Knicks to win. That puts pressure on everyone else in the locker room. The trio of Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Karl-Anthony Towns will be at the center of that transition. Each player brings a unique dimension, Bridges with his elite defense and smooth shooting, Anunoby with his physical two-way play, and Towns with his size and ability to stretch the floor. Together, they have the tools to help balance the offense and relieve some of Brunson's scoring burden. But talent alone won't be enough. They'll need to be aggressive, decisive, and ready to take over games when Brunson is being keyed on. For a team with championship ambitions, that collective growth isn't optional, it's essential. Beyond the starting lineup, the Knicks bench could quietly become one of the most important factors of the season. Miles McBride, Jordan Clarkson, and Gershon Yabusele will be tasked with keeping the offense flowing when the starters rest. Clarkson, the veteran scorer, is expected to bring instant offense and spark the second unit. McBride will need to continue his development as a reliable floor general and defender. Yabusele's versatility and physicality could make him a valuable piece in Brown's up-tempo schemes. This depth, something the Knicks have lacked in previous playoff runs, could finally be the difference between being good and being great. Still, no transition is ever smooth. Early season struggles are expected, and Mike Brown knows that. He's likely to emphasize patience as the team adjusts to new rhythms and responsibilities. But patience only lasts so long in New York, especially when expectations are sky-high. Because make no mistake, this version of the Knicks isn't being built to simply compete. It's being built to win. The front office has assembled a roster that blends star power with balance, defense with versatility, and leadership with hunger. The fans at Madison Square Garden can feel it. This is no longer the scrappy team that overachieved behind Brunson's heroics. This is a team that believes it can challenge Boston, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia for Eastern Conference supremacy. But for that to happen, everyone has to buy in. If Brunson can maintain his All-NBA level of play within a more democratic system, and if the supporting cast lives up to its potential, the Knicks could easily become one of the league's most dangerous teams, not just in the regular season, but deep into the playoffs. However, if the offense stalls, if the chemistry falters, or if the supporting cast fails to rise to the challenge, the pressure will mount quickly. In a city where patience is thin and ambition runs high, excuses won't last long. For now, optimism reigns. Brunson remains the unquestioned leader, a competitor who thrives on proving doubters wrong. Mike Brown brings a reputation for discipline, structure, and innovation. And this roster, deeper and more talented than any New York has had in years, looks ready to take that next step. The Knicks' success this season won't be defined solely by what Jalen Brunson does. It'll be defined by what happens around him, by whether his teammates can match his intensity, his focus, and his will to win. Because in New York, where the lights shine brightest and expectations never fade, it's not enough to have one star. To win it all, the entire cast has to perform. And this season, under those lights at Madison Square Garden, we'll find out if the Knicks finally have the depth, the chemistry, and the belief to turn that dream into reality. Mitchell Robinson has always been one of those players who does the dirty work, the rebounding, the rim protection, the hustle that doesn't always show up in the box score. But as the New York Knicks prepare for a new season under head coach Mike Brown, Robinson might finally be ready to take a leap from reliable role player to true difference maker. The 7-foot center, often overshadowed by the team's stars, is earning high praise from his new coach, and not just any praise. Brown, who's been around the NBA for decades, went as far as to compare Robinson to Antonio McDyess, a one-time NBA All-Star known for his explosive athleticism and highlight reel finishes during the early 2000s. First of all, he's a great runner, not a good runner, a great runner, Brown said in an interview with New York Post reporter Zach Braziller. He's got to play at this pace all the time. Not most of the time, all the time. Having said that, Mitch is a vertical threat. I'm just guessing off the top of my head, but he might be the best vertical threat I've been around. Antonio McDyess was a tremendous vertical threat. For Brown to mention McDyess, a player remembered for his elite leaping ability and energy, in the same breath as Robinson speaks volumes. McDyess, in his prime, was an explosive forward who could dominate above the rim. That comparison positions Robinson as a modern version of that same athletic archetype, a big man capable of changing games with his presence in the air. You can just close your eyes and throw it up there, and he'll go get it, Brown continued. Sometimes I see a pass and think, that's a bad one, but Mitch still catches it, even one-handed, and throws it down. His ability as a vertical threat is going to help us in so many ways. Honestly, he's even better than I expected coming in. Those words reflect more than just admiration. They reveal how central Robinson could become in Brown's vision for the Knicks. Under Brown, who emphasizes pace, ball movement, and high-energy defense, Robinson's physical gifts fit perfectly. His quickness running the floor, his timing on lobs, and his defensive instincts make him the kind of player who can thrive in a system built around tempo and intensity. A coach's confidence and a player's opportunity. Mike Brown never coached Antonio McDyess, but he's seen plenty of players who fit that mold, elite athletes who can turn momentum with a single play. For Robinson, that comparison is not only flattering but motivating. The 26-year-old has battled injuries throughout his career, but when healthy, he's been one of the NBA's premier rebounders and shot blockers. Last season, Robinson anchored one of the league's top defensive units, ranking among the leaders in offensive rebounds and second-chance points created. His ability to dominate the paint has always been there, but under Brown, the Knicks believe he can elevate his game to another level, perhaps even approach All-Star status. And if that happens, the Knicks could become a true powerhouse in the Eastern Conference. Robinson's potential impact extends beyond defense. His improved conditioning and rim-running ability could open up the floor for scorers like Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, giving New York one of the most balanced lineups in the league. Building chemistry with Karl-Anthony Towns. Robinson is especially excited about the chance to play more minutes alongside Towns. The Knicks' new big-man duo could redefine how New York attacks both ends of the floor. When you're playing with two bigs, it's going to be exciting to see, Robinson said via Braziller. We did a little bit of it last year and had success with it. So we're going to see how it goes from there. It's a pairing that has enormous potential. Robinson's presence allows Towns to slide back to his natural position at power forward, where he's been most effective throughout his career. While Towns can stretch the floor with his shooting, Robinson can protect the rim and control the paint, creating a dynamic balance of inside and outside play. For opponents, it's a nightmare scenario, a front court that combines elite athleticism with elite skill. If Robinson continues to develop offensively, catching lobs, finishing through contact, and improving as a screener, he could not only complement Towns but elevate him. The path to becoming an all-star level center. For years, Robinson has been viewed as the Knicks' glue guy, a player who holds the defense together but rarely gets the spotlight. Now, under a new coach and with a revamped roster, the opportunity is there for him to take the next step. If he can stay healthy and maintain his energy across an 82-game season, Robinson could force his way into the All-Star conversation. His combination of shot blocking, rebounding, and rim finishing makes him one of the most efficient big men in basketball when he's at his best. The Knicks haven't reached the NBA Finals since 1999, but this season feels different. With Mike Brown bringing a new identity, Jalen Brunson leading the offense, Karl-Anthony Towns adding star power, and Mitchell Robinson evolving into a true two-way force, New York may finally have the balance it's been missing. The bottom line. Mike Brown's words carry weight, especially when they come from someone who's coached stars across eras. Comparing Robinson to Antonio McDyess isn't just about athleticism. It's about recognizing a player capable of changing the game's rhythm through effort, explosiveness, and consistency. If Robinson embraces that challenge and performs at the level Brown envisions, the Knicks won't just be competitive, they'll be dangerous. The message is clear. Mitchell Robinson isn't just the Knicks' defensive anchor anymore. He's a player on the rise, a vertical powerhouse ready to redefine his role and help lead New York toward a long-awaited return to NBA Finals contention. The New York Knicks continue to be one of the most talked-about franchises in the NBA offseason, and the buzz surrounding Madison Square Garden shows no signs of slowing down. As free agency discussions heat up, one name refuses to fade from the headlines: Russell Westbrook. The former NBA MVP, known for his intensity, leadership, and relentless motor, remains available, and the Knicks are still among the top contenders to sign him. After their most successful season in over 2 decades, New York enters the 2025-26 campaign with renewed purpose and genuine championship aspirations. Last season, the Knicks reached the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2000, reigniting passion among fans and restoring credibility to a franchise long hungry for success. This year, the team believes it's ready to take that next step, and management has made moves designed to make a serious run at an NBA title. The Knicks front office opted to keep the core group together. Jalen Brunson remains the team's undisputed leader and floor general. Karl-Anthony Towns brings elite scoring and rebounding from the frontcourt. Mikal Bridges continues to anchor the perimeter defense. OG Anunoby provides versatility on both ends of the floor, and Josh Hart brings grit and hustle that embody New York's blue-collar identity. However, the most significant change came on the sidelines. The Knicks moved on from longtime head coach Tom Thibodeau and brought in veteran coach Mike Brown to take the reins. Known for his structured defensive approach, player communication, and ability to maximize star talent, Brown's arrival represents both a culture shift and a new era in New York basketball. His leadership will be key as the Knicks attempt to build on last season's success and finally break through to the NBA Finals. Beyond coaching, the Knicks also addressed a critical weakness from last season: depth. The second unit often struggled to sustain leads and provide offensive consistency, forcing Brunson and Towns to play heavy minutes. Determined to fix that issue, the front office acted decisively. They added Jordan Clarkson, a proven scorer and 6th Man of the Year winner, to inject instant offense. Gershon Yabusele joins to bolster frontcourt versatility and physicality. Malcolm Brogdon, when healthy, brings elite decision-making and veteran poise, while Landry Shamet offers perimeter shooting to stretch defenses. Still, despite these moves, New York isn't closing the door on further upgrades, and that's where Russell Westbrook's name continues to come up. According to BetUS, the Knicks currently have the 5th best odds, plus 350, to sign the former MVP. The Sacramento Kings top the list at plus 150, followed by the Houston Rockets, plus 200, Dallas Mavericks, plus 200, and Golden State Warriors, plus 300. Although there's been no public confirmation of serious interest from New York, oddsmakers continue to see the Knicks as a logical landing spot for the veteran guard. At 36, Westbrook is no longer the nightly triple-double machine he once was, but his impact remains significant. Last season with the Denver Nuggets, he proved he can still be an effective contributor on a contending team. He averaged 13.3 points, 4.9 rebounds, 6.1 assists, and 1.4 steals per game while shooting 44.9% from the field and 32.3% from three-point range. Beyond the numbers, his trademark energy, intensity, and leadership continue to set him apart. For the Knicks, Westbrook could provide much-needed backcourt depth behind Brunson. His ability to push the pace, attack the basket, and create opportunities for teammates would bring a new dimension to the second unit. Moreover, His experience as a veteran leader could be invaluable for a team still learning how to handle the expectations that come with contention. That said, there are factors complicating the fit. The recent addition of Malcolm Brogdon gives the Knicks another experienced ball handler, though his injury history raises durability concerns. Miles McBride, meanwhile, has continued to develop and remains an important part of New York's guard rotation. The question becomes, would there be enough minutes and opportunity for Westbrook to thrive? For now, it appears unlikely that the Knicks will pursue him aggressively before the season starts. The organization seems confident in the current roster structure under Mike Brown's leadership. However, if Westbrook remains unsigned deeper into the season, or if injuries and bench struggles start to pile up, the conversation could quickly change. A potential signing would not only boost New York's backcourt, but also bring one of the league's most passionate competitors to the world's biggest stage. Westbrook's fearless attitude and relentless drive could ignite the Garden in ways few players can. For a city that thrives on energy, intensity, and star power, the idea of Westbrook in Knicks blue and orange has undeniable appeal. For Westbrook, joining New York would also be about legacy. After years of shifting roles across several teams, a successful run with a contender like the Knicks could solidify his status as one of the most resilient and adaptable players of his generation. And for the Knicks, adding a former MVP who still plays with unmatched heart could be the spark that elevates them from contenders to true championship favorites. The Eastern Conference remains open, and the Knicks are fully aware that every roster move could make the difference between falling short and capturing the franchise's first title in over 50 years. Mike Brown's squad is hungry, disciplined, and battle-tested, but as history has shown, depth and experience often separate the great from the good. Whether or not Russell Westbrook ultimately joins them, the fact that the Knicks remain in the conversation speaks volumes about how far the organization has come. Once viewed as a rebuilding team, they now stand as one of the league's premier destinations, and the possibility of adding another future Hall of Famer only fuels that growing sense of belief in New York City. For now, it's a waiting game. But if the opportunity presents itself and the fit is right, Russell Westbrook could soon find himself suiting up under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden, and the Knicks could take yet another bold step toward the championship glory they've been chasing for decades.